My name is Bill French. I am the owner of William French Byers Real Estate Services, which is a firm that I started 36 years ago, coming this next year. Mike is my oldest son, and then I have my other son, John, and John is the person who is a member at Independence Center. Early memories of John is John was a typical kid growing up in West St. Louis County, on the swim teams, on the soccer teams. Eventually went off to college, and unfortunately that first year of college did not go too well. Things just seemed to be different about John, and of course it was the onset of mental illness. He went from what you would consider a normal, average kid to completely drawn into the depths of mental illness, and it is a difficult thing for families to really understand and to react to. He came home from college after that first year, and unfortunately things had not worked out, so he could not go back to college. And he began to isolate himself, and then suddenly one day just disappeared. We had no idea where he was. After that, the desperation really set in with us because we couldn't find him. And I began to realize that this is probably what happens to a lot of people who might be from what we'd consider normal homes that just suddenly are gone and end up being that homeless person on the street pushing a grocery cart. And then the watershed moment came. He went to the quick shop, bought some razor blades, slashed his wrists. And he fortunately took himself to St. Luke's Hospital. And at that point it became an issue of where do we get care for him. We looked at a lot of different options, and when I say we, it was really more my son and my former wife. Somehow, she arrived at the Independence Center. And Independence Center came out and interviewed John and agreed that he was somebody who was a good candidate for their program. And the strides that he's made over that period of time have been unbelievably good. Independence Center, to him, is really everything. What you don't realize is, unless you're involved with mental illness, when a person's mentally ill, our society disenfranchises them. They become outsiders, and they don't have friends, and they don't have a home. You know, fortunately for John, I have some means. Many, many people at Independence Center have no means, have no family support. Without Independence Center, they would be lost. I mean, they would be on the street, and there's no safety net for them. If I were to ask John what Independence Center means to him, he would say it's his home. I know the principle behind Independence Center is restoring lives. In our case, it was saving a life, and then having a life. I can't better express the need to support Independence Center than I can just from my own personal experience this Christmas. I asked my son John what he would like for Christmas. He said, "Give money to Independence Center for me." He didn't want anything. He wanted that money to go to Independence Center. He just loves the people over there.